Hello, Evilslothman here, back for another vid. Right, I'm going to say I'm a little bit annoyed. I have been recording a video for 35 minutes and it had no sound. So I'm having to record this again. And I'm tired. It's 1 in the morning and it's annoying. But today is actually going to be my Wii U collection because I've not ever mentioned it before, and just want to get everyone back up to date because this is really the main focus of what I'm doing at the moment. I am a Nintendo fanboy, I'm not going to lie. I play a lot of 3DS and a lot of Wii U, and it's where my focus of gaming has gone for the last year. So, with that said, I bought the Wii U. That was on the day of release in Europe, and so got the Wii U Premium Edition. This is a Zombie U edition of that pack, which I think looks really hella cool. It has the blood-soaked U at the back of it and everything like that, and the zombies at the front. And so this comes with Zombie U instead of Nintendo Land, and it also comes with the Wii U Pro Controller, which, yes, everyone can see. It's basically a 360 pad, except the buttons are moved about a bit, and everything. It has the really good D-pad, which the 360 doesn't. But it, the 3D sticks, they push out instead of push in, and so they're quite rubbery. So when you're actually playing and you push really hard right or really hard left, it tends to rub off. But the gamepad itself, I've never had that with the gamepad itself. I think that's because it's wider. But the thing I'll say about the gamepad is it's exceedingly light. I thought it would be so much heavier than it is, and it's usually that when you get it the first time, it's just so light, and the buttons are still really well placed, and I've had no problems with it. It's an awesome little system. Okay, it has its ups and downs. The games have not come as much, and some of the ports have been shite. But we'll go through with the actual main games. I think I'll do a separate video for downloadable content because that video ran for 35 minutes and I think that's too long. I think we'll just get for the main titles and get back to it. So, the first one we'll mention is Zombie U. This was a game that came with the console, and after sticking a bit of time into it, I really do like it. It's interesting take on kind of like the zombie game because it's a first-person shooter, but it's very slow-paced. It's very methodical. It really wants the tension to rise in that game, and it's how a zombie game should be played. It's like there's stuff that could come from any side and just attack you, and there's like specific zombies that have specific skills. It's like some that'll spit stuff into you, spit venom or something like into you. There's other ones that will somewhat teleport around the room, which is kind of scary. And there's other ones that'll have like riot gear on, and so it takes a lot more hits. And especially like stuff like, you think of a baseball as one hit, but no, you actually have to crank it up to hold it and then bash it. And so every little thing is just to raise tension, and the mechanics of switching items out. The only thing that annoys me a little bit is the fact that it's only your last time you've been killed gets saved. And what I mean by that is every time you die, which you will die, it's an inevitability. Once you die, your previous body is reanimated as a zombie, which you have to kill to get all your equipment back because you're still wearing the backpack. But if you get killed along the way, then that one gets deleted and then your new one is. But if you've just going back to try and get your old stuff back, you have nothing. And so you kill that zombie, it doesn't mean anything. It's got nothing. It's just compensated by the fact that you get people from the Miiverse. So say people on your friends list or just people playing the game, they will pop up. It's like I've had a lot of times from Snestastic's copy or Murphydurf's copy, and a lot of their zombies keep on popping up, and so I will kill them and I'll get like health packs or extra bullets or extra weapons, so it does prove helpful. But the original version, just doing it off your own ones, that can somewhat be frustrating because some of the different warp points throughout all of London, they're sometimes a bit far apart, and so you have to traverse through a lot of sections before you actually get back to where you might have died. So it does sometimes prove quite frustrating. Sorry, I've had these all in ones in the order I was going to speak about, and so they're all in backwards order. Right, next one is Nintendo Land. Nintendo Land, I think, is actually a really great game. It's fun for parties if you want to do stuff like the Mario Chase or Luigi's Mansion or the Animal Crossing Sweet Days one. But I think it comes into its own when you do the co-op stuff. I really, really like the Metroid co-op stuff and the Legend of Zelda co-op stuff. So me and Cyberlink, we played so much. Unreal. It was amazing fun. The Metroid stuff is really fun. Like, I was the ship on the Wii U gamepad and he was Samus on the ground, well, in a Samus costume. And you had to go and do like different tasks, and then you would get and face like different bosses, and it's just a really, really good game. I really like the Captain Falcon Twister coaster, which a lot of people don't like, but I really got into that one. It's just like using the Wii U gamepad to steer left and right, and a lot of people said if you focus on the actual screen, I find it easier to focus on the TV, because at specific points you go under bridges to get your time gaps, like you're between sections, and you're blocked off at that point from seeing because you're in a tunnel. And it's actually, if you look on the TV, you can see all these there's extra boost pads and coins in there that you would miss if you're just looking at that. So I would always advise just looking at the TV screen. I think the DK Challenge, the Crash Course, that's another great game. It's just timing and using different effects and everything. I've seen people that can race through the first one, and it's just so much fun. The next one is Super Mario Bros. U. That I love 2D platformers, so what else can I say? Me and Cyberlink had a lot of fun playing for a lot of the levels in there, and then I would go back and collect a lot of the coins. And so I went through in the coins and get the secret exits and doing all the extra levels and going through and doing that. And it's just a lot of fun. I think, well, we didn't argue as much as in this one compared to doing the Wii one. So I don't know if that means it's easier or we're just getting better. I think probably we're just getting better communication-wise, because we've done a few 2D platformers now, because we went from that to Donkey Kong Country Returns to Rayman Origins to this. So I think we're just a little bit better in the speaking terms than what we used to be for doing co-op 2D platformers, to be fair. One other thing I should mention is the challenge mode. Some of it I've played a fair bit of just because I was trying to get like gold medals, and we go back and try like for an hour to do like little bits. And then who was it to put up? I think it was Murphy Durford put up a time on the one of the levels in the challenge course. You had to complete it in less than like 30 seconds or to get this time, and I spent like a good hour and a half on that bloody level, and it's a very simple level, but to get a great time you just have to be perfect on every single little thing, and I did get a really good time, and it's an awesome little game, and it was stuff like that when you put challenges up in the Miiverse. I think that's one of the best features of doing this stuff in the Miiverse. A game that I can't talk too much about is Darksiders 2, and the simple reason for that is I'm not playing it until I complete Darksiders 1 on the PS3, and I haven't done so yet. Next one is Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed. I think this is a really, really good kart racer. It's stuffed with different characters and different levels, different music. All stuff is very much Sega based. There's stuff like from Golden Axe, and there's stuff from Jet Set Radio and all sorts of different Sega franchises. Plus you have all the characters there, and the fact that you can switch on the fly from different laps, so the the courses change completely. Like you could be one lap, you could be flying, one lap you can be in the water, one lap you can be racing, or it could be racing and then the track transforms a bit or terraforms a little bit, and it's just it will completely change the way you play the game. And then extra bits that they put into it, like say it's not just racing, you have bits where you have to follow tracks, like say you have to drift, but you have to drift in a certain line to actually go through, and I thought that was a really interesting way of doing things. Or going through a certain amount of checkpoints with a timer between the checkpoints. It's just like stuff like that, so you can actually improve your driving skill, which Mario Kart never does, and probably should. I just thought that was really, really well done. On the other bit of racing, I picked up Need for Speed Most Wanted U, which is actually quite hard to find. I know my local game didn't have it. I had to order that online. That is a very interesting game. I love Burnout Paradise. I love a lot of the Burnout games, so it plays very much like that, with actual real cars this time, because they have the Need for Speed license instead of the Burnout license, and doing that, or just like racing around that areas, doing tricks, going through barriers, and doing all the stuff you can really do in the Burnout games. It's just a really, really well polished game and a lot of fun. And some of the touch stuff, we had a little bit of fun because we were going through and using the aerial atom to actually go and hit some of the billboards and switching it from day to light, and then trying to troll each other because we changed the car halfway through certain things just to piss people off. It was funny, but I don't know. I can see why they put that stuff in there, but I just don't know if it works for any other reason. The reason they gave it was like a father-son way of speaking, so you can change the cars instead of having to find them and changing it day to night, or taking the traffic out if they were struggling or stuff like that. I can see that if I had a kid, it would be maybe good, but I don't, so it's a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. Next one is Batman Arkham City Armored Edition. Now, I haven't played too much of it, but what I have played, I would say that the port's a little bit, it runs on the bit on the slow side. It's stuttery at moments. Not actually in game. I found what was the cutscene. It was like specifically going into a bit of the Joker where you have to go around the big funnel. That bit runs so badly. It was ridiculous. So it's like little choke points like that, I think, more than anything else in the overall arc of the game. But it seemed like cutscenes seemed to be run horrible. But I don't know. The bat system, I think, is good, but overcompensate. I think sometimes it's a little bit overpowered, so you rely on it a little bit too much, and I think that takes away a bit of the difficulty of the game, which it shouldn't do. Because realize I played through all of Arkham Asylum and I didn't need it that then, so why should I need it now? Kind of thing. It was just put in there so it'd have a difference compared to the actual original version of the game, but at least all the DLC and everything's in that version of the game, so it's fine. One of the newer games I got was Lego City Undercover. I think that's a lot of fun. It's a really great kind of Lego game with a kind of open world environment with some really funny stuff. Stuff that'll probably go over kids' heads, but well, some games have been doing that for a long time. And I just think it's well polished. The only thing I would say is quite bad about that is the loading times. The loading times kill. It's horrendous. So hopefully that update in the summer is meant to stop the loading times being so bad. So hopefully that'll cap that one there. Like the spring one is meant to go back from is meant to go for the game back to the menu, which it does. It cut that severely. So I'm hoping it's the same kind of cut, because going through the main map main game start to going to the open world takes a minute exactly, and that's far too long. And the game I just picked up today, which is Tekken Tag Tournament 2 Wii U Edition. So haven't played it yet. I've literally just put it in just to put the update on, and so it's I love Tekken games. I adore Tekken 3 and 4, so I have no doubt that it's going to be a lot of fun. And specifically, it's got the Tekken Ball mode in, which none of the other versions did. And the Mario costumes, well, the Nintendo costumes could be quite fun. Just to see Heihachi in like a Mario costume could be kind of interesting. But stuff like that, it'll be fun. And it was kind of reasonable. It was £25 in game today, and you can get that. It's a fixed price. It's just gone down on the Wii U shop. So if you're just wanting to get the game, it's always going to be that price. What I would say at the moment is, if you're wanting Assassin's Creed 3, I don't have it, and I've never really been into it. But I saw in Game and saw in Asda they were selling it for £15, which is really quite good if you're just wanting to play that game, because it's not like it's a bad game. It's just not particularly my cup of tea. But that's my games that I've got at the moment. Like I say, I've got stuff in the eShop, but we'll save that for another video for another time. So, this is Evilslothman. If you want to go in Miiverse and add me, because that's definitely the way to do it. Don't do it for the friends list, because then I have to go and add your name and it takes forever. The best way to do it is just to add me on Miiverse, because then I get requests on my friends list and then I can just add you. But it's Evilslothman with a big E, a capital E, and I will see you soon. So this is Evilslothman out.